Hey folks, welcome back to Chuck Show. It's been a while since we've been online and on the air. Uh, Basically since December. Some issues, life does happen here. We decided to come back on the air and do some podcasting. This is kind of an impromptu one. Uh, we're going to talk about how the government's slowly releasing more and more UFO type related documents and certain TV shows like Project Blue Book and how it plays out for that, uh, and some other things. So before we get too far into it, Chuck Show, mind's blown. So what I've been noticing over the last few months is that slowly but surely it seems like there's more and more shows being made available on channels, just generic channels, as well as like certain pay channels, aka like Netflix and such. Project Blue Book came up. Watched that whole series. It's based upon supposed events that a doctor had done back in the 40s and 50s, along with an Air Force guy, and they talk about all the different things of UFO sightings and how the government was like manipulating things to keep it hush hush and quiet. I think mainly now they're doing it because as they're releasing more classified data about such things, they kind of have to like clean it up to make it less stressful on us civilians, so we don't get freaked out and also be like, "Oh my God, UFOs!" So that's one of the topics I figured I'd touch on tonight. As far as that goes, we were discussing that series, and there's another couple series where they're talking about interdimensional travel from other dimensions. Possibly that's how we became to become beings on this planet, and how evolution has played a role in all that, and how we may be still being watched by the watchers, so to speak, and they're kind of regulating us per se. And then, if anybody hasn't noticed lately, we have a lot of weather-related issues. Like the Northeast got like 10 inches of snow for like the entire year or something up here in Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania area, which is extremely low amount of snow for the annual snowfall. That's definitely not on seasonal charts. Let's say we went from summer of last year right to like winter. We pretty much skipped fall, just went straight downhill from there. Um, but I've been noticing that, and my co-host Miss Andy Suzanne had been noticing different trends where with the weather changing and everything else going on in the world, to sidetrack us off the normal politics, which we're not going to talk about tonight. Um, we just noticed more and more of the UFO shows are coming on TV, and how everybody's looking to explain it more and more detailed. And now there's more witnesses or statements that became available to civilians. So again, I think the government's basically, as they're releasing the data, they're kind of putting out matching per se shows to combat the possible fear levels we may end up with, depending as far as that goes. Um, I personally, at 50 some years old, I could carry either way on this one. It'd be neat to know that, you know, there's a higher being that put us here and, things like that. But I mean, I'm not like going to be stressed out either way about it as far as that goes. But that's our opinion here on Chuck's show. I don't really know what else we're going to talk about tonight, but I just figured we'd get back on the air and do a little 5 minute podcast and let you know we all are still alive here. Miss Andy Suzanne's still dealing with her eye issues over here, with her cornea ulcer and cornea scratch and such, so she's unavailable. But we decided to get back on the air and get things rolling again to get the ball in motion. We will have more topics coming up in the coming weeks. I plan on getting on this weekly to get back online because we only did a handful of podcasts, and all of a sudden everything went sideways around Christmas time with the eye issues, and we had to take care of that. So anyway, just wanted to say hello, and Chuck Show's back on the air, and oh yeah, we're doing it. So just stay tuned, folks. We will have more for you as time goes. Thank you very much. Chuck Show. Mind's blown.